Hi Sagittarius, thanks for joining me and welcome to your May 2015 Taroscope reading. We'll be doing 4 cards and then I'm going to look at a couple of other options at the end just to do some more in-depth sort of connection. So sit back and relax if you've got the time and we'll see what May is going to deliver for you guys. Oh, this wants to keep on shuffling, doesn't it? Okay. The Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Seems as though this month everything feels a little bit lighter, but I notice that quite a lot of the cards are repeating themselves, which I find quite an interesting perspective. Let's start at the beginning, which is roughly the beginning of May, and we see here the Six of Pentacles. You've got 2 Pentacles and 2 Swords in your reading and no major arcana. May definitely does feel lighter than March and April, so I think people might be just gathering their breath a bit actually after a couple of pretty full-on months. This guy here, he is handing this money out to people who need it, so that's part of the message of the card. The other part here is this balance, the scales that are in right here. Now there's a couple of vibrations that come from the card. Number one is that you are either going to be in a position to offer support to someone within your circle of friends or family or co-workers, and they will really appreciate it, or there's the possibility that you in turn could be in need of some support from people. It's the card of giving and receiving, so being in a state of gratefulness, and it's hard to sometimes balance or make the call whether you're the one giving or you're the one getting. But I often find when I even talk about it, it just comes straight to my mind that something needs balancing. So it's either something in your life or around situations requires a deal of balance. That's probably the best I can give from it. And then we see here this Ace of Swords. Now, when we get the swords in, we often think of air signs, in particular this one down here, because he is a specific person. And we think of sometimes a bit tense words around, so people who either overspeak situations or they speak rudely or out of turn. So there could be a degree of that in the month of May that you wish to bring balance or harmony into. The Ace of Swords coming into your second week indicates newness, new beginnings, but it can sometimes be due to the fact that literally you leave something behind because you weren't that happy with it. So it's new beginnings, kind of like, see the sword there and he's holding it up, it's kind of like, yeah, stick that. I've had enough. He's taken the throne with him, or the crown, and he's saying, victory to me, because I just can't be bothered with the way you're treating me anymore. And there's a little bit of that feeling with this ace. It is about new beginnings, but sometimes it comes about because you've put your foot down and you don't need to be spoken to or addressed in that particular manner. It's a positive card. Most aces are the aces are positive. I love new beginnings. They challenge us, they set us on a different pathway. They make us think about situations, they make us think about ourselves. So all of that is positive. But bear in mind, every time you get a new beginning, you've got to be strong enough to work through the old pieces of thoughts and emotion and energy that come with it, and you've also got to be strong enough to take the step forward and not worry about it and not be anxious about it. This beautiful stone in the back of the reading is called an apophyllite, and it's a really high vibrational energy stone to bring in clarity and higher vibrations, so positivity, and it eases anxiety and tension and stress and worry. So it's probably a really good stone. It was just sitting there on the reading mat as such, and it turns out it's probably quite a lovely stone for you guys to just pull on that energy anyhow. So they're both good cards, but they can both have a side to them that only you'll know how it really resonates with you personally. Everybody who tunes into the readings will pick up a slightly different perspective of it, and it will mean something more poignant to them than the person next to them. So you'll have more of an idea as to which way both of these cards are going. This can be new propositions to do with career as well as relationships, because it's a card of word and thought, and I often think of career as being very thought directed. You know, our thought and our energy is required to perform our jobs. So I do think of this one as a potential career message as well. And the other thing is, it could say just watch it at work if there are people who are a bit terse or flying around in the air sort of with great ideas and all wild action going, just to either steer clear of them or watch how you speak to them and how you treat the situations. We come to this card, the Three of Pentacles, in the third week roughly of May, and we see, again I see there's three people involved quite often in this, and it's usually a positive card. But it's come to my mind that it often turns up when you are either in need of support from someone around you, or you're in a position to offer support. So you've got kind of two of these messages in May. I think there's something going on for you guys around relationships and being, you know, supportive and nurturing, and people appreciating it. There's deep, deep appreciation from these people and also from these ones. So sometimes it can be you're on the receiving end of some beautiful network of friends or family that are so supportive and helpful to you that you really do appreciate it, or you're the person who's giving it out. Either way, as I say, it's about the gift of giving and receiving and of balance. Two amazing positive places and energies to be in. This can also be about finances, and it can be about feeling happy with where you are regards finances. So you may receive some sort of thank you or accolade, or you may have finished a course and get a degree, or you know, something along those lines. It's generally considered quite positive. It's also potential for job interviews and the possibility of, you know, a new job, or being offered a kind of a promotion type thing. So those two are together, and I think they're somehow linked. So there could be something around your employment in May. We come to the end and we see the King of Swords. He's often an air sign type of person. So he could literally be in your life towards the end of May. He may be supportive. He may be someone that's new that comes in. Could be around work. Could be something to do with work. He can have some really good ideas that's worth listening to, because he's an intelligent, smart guy. But on the other hand, he can also be quite forthright and dogmatic, a bit dogmatic. He could be, for some of you, a new love relationship coming in. And if he is, you kind of have to accept that that's the type of person he is. He's not going to be your, you know, your soft, whimsical man that reads poetry. So he'll still be a great person to have in your life. You just need to know what type of person he is. Also, again, we do see the sword up in the air and a little bit of belligerence with it. So if there are any arguments going on or disagreements anywhere in your life towards the end of May, just be diplomatic and think of both people or both situations when you go to speak, because there are always two sides to every story, and it's important to be able to get that across, or to hear both sides of the story. Okay guys, let's have a look at these other cards that are here. Tony Celerino angel cards that are quite intense, and they can just bring in some really interesting little tidbits of information that you might choose to think about yourself. Primarily it's kind of about yourself and energies, I guess, or emotions around that area. They're jolly big cards. They're quite difficult to shuffle, so I'll sort of spread them out. The Goddess of Strength. Stand up for what you believe. You will gain respect by holding your ground. That kind of matches that last card that was there, that someone might be around you that is, you know, there might be a few discussions or healthy debates in May for you. And communication is the key to a big part of being a human. You know, we really, our whole world is derived by communication. So it's an intrinsically important part of all of our relationships, and the ability to communicate well and to be able to listen and speak at the appropriate times is important. So there could be a message here for you, and it does say just maintain your strength, and as long as it's done in the way of integrity and balance, then you have the right to say how you feel about situations and people or your work or relationships that are around you. And you are strong. You know, you have a powerful, the fire signs have a really powerful inner strength that is a true gift in many ways, because you can get through most things. So if there is anything that you've felt worried or stressed or tense about, know that your inner strength is worthy of you getting through, and call on it. You know, remember that you are powerful and you do have resources, and that you can go the full 100 yards, and that you'll get to the finish line. So we'll call one more card out. Angel of the Universe, you are being encouraged to expand your thinking. And I talked a little bit in the reading about the whole connection to thought, and that the two sword cards are all about intellect and thinking. And there could be situations around you that are asking you to expand yourself and you know, move out a little bit and look at the greater picture, because you often will find answers outside of your own paradox or your own, you know, space that you put yourself into. We all have belief systems that we believe are true and right, and we sometimes think that you can't cross those boundaries or go any further. But they're suggesting to you here that there's a whole bigger, broader picture out there for you that you can open up to and access, and you can start, you know, a whole new journey once you open your mind to the bigger picture, basically. It's like sort of sitting in your house and looking out your window, and you see what's outside you, and you see your little close neighbourhood. But when you take a few more steps, or take a trip to another country, we see how much bigger everything is and how differently it can be all viewed. So different perspectives are very, very important, and they can lead us to more promising places. Okay guys, I'll give you one of the Atlantis cards as well. Looks like it's that one. Uriel, friendship. That's a beautiful message. That comes to you from the root chakra, which is your base chakra, right down towards the grounding chakra, that asks you or reminds you to be grounded again and to balance your emotions in particular, and feel the essence of your friendships around you. You have some beautiful, valuable friendships, and that was apparent in the reading, that were these people that would, you know, gain support from what you were doing, and vice versa, that you would gain support from their friendships. So I think May is a big month for you, just appreciating and feeling the love that's around, and the support networks. And as well, this can possibly be the sign of new friendships coming in. And sometimes all it takes is for us to ask. You know, ask the universe to deliver it as what you actually want, and have faith that it can be done. So if you're looking or seeking for close new friendships, just be prepared for them to come in, and visualize it and imagine it as being right now and happening now, and be prepared for new friendships. And I am very firm believer that our friendships are all gifts in our life. Every friend that comes into my life is so valuable to me. They're part of the love of my life, and I enjoy them all, each for their individuality. So you might be able to welcome some new friends for May. So there you are, Sagittarius. I wish you the very, very best. Kia kaha and much aroha.